This Premier League Week 6 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5, get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code PLGP. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Wednesday, September the 24th. We are here to handicap a full slate of action, Premier League Matchday 6, which runs from Saturday lunchtime through to Monday night. We have some MNF this week. Joining us from somewhere in Nottinghamshire is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Barry, what's going on?
Good evening. What's going on? I'm here to handicap a full round of Premier League games. This is what's going on.
I just said that, Baz.
Yeah. I've had a busy day today.
Have you?
I've not left the house. I was working from home today, but I have clocked, Malcolm, 12,670 steps today.
Explain.
I've just been on the treadmill loads.
Oh, really? Do you work on the treadmill?
Well, there's been a bit of a conference thing going on, a virtual conference. So whilst I've been listening to 1 hour conference calls, I've been jumping on the treadmill and just plodding away. So yeah, without leaving the house, 12,500 steps, not bad, that is it.
Solid effort, that, Baz. I'm not a big exerciser, as you know. I'm naturally very athletic. But I took the boys training last night, and there was an odd number, which I was delighted about because it meant I got to join in, and I was sweating my tits off. At one point, I don't know what the world record is for the amount of stitches one person's had, but I reckon I might have broke it last night. If Norris McWhirter was there, I must have had 7 stitches, like at all different spots. But I had a great time.
You talk about not enjoying exercise. I remember someone said to me a while ago about, if you're going to do some exercise while you're trying to lose weight, find something you enjoy. And I thought, I don't enjoy any exercise. Like, I've been on the treadmill today. Did I enjoy it? No. I go swimming. Do I enjoy that? Not particularly. I enjoy the feeling afterwards. Like, it's quite rewarding, and I feel like I've done well, and I've, earned me food for the day and things like that. But enjoy, I don't understand anyone who says they enjoy running or cycling.
No, I have to chase a ball around. If there's a ball involved, I play. Like I say, last night I ran around like I was 10 years old for an hour with the under 14s. And we had a right laugh. It wasn't a training session. It was just people dicking about. But I joined in and we had a right laugh. I play a little bit of baseball, whatever, cricket, whatever it involves. I'll chase a ball around like a Labrador. But yeah, exercise, Baz. You're right. It does absolutely nothing for me at all. I'm just back from Seville, Barry. I've done full commentary tonight on Real Betis against Nottingham Forest, which finished about 45 minutes ago. So I very quickly jumped on a waiting plane, landed just in time to get back here for that. I enjoyed that. It was a good game. I spoke to Nibs and Monty, our Nottingham Forest fans, who were in Seville this afternoon for that one. They were enjoying a pint. Matthews, a Forest fan, he bet me I couldn't say tricky trees more than 4 times in the commentary, which I did. I managed to squeeze 5 in there. So I'm already not taking that job seriously. But no, that was a good game. We'll come to a few of the midweek games in a little bit because the picks have been shit. Football's been all right, but my picks have been particularly bad. And I think a few people in the chat have been collateral damage in that as well. Joe Dollar was first in. Bob joined us. He tailed us on Real Betis, who didn't win. Smudger's here. Smudger done his conkers on a few things. Who else is here? Andy Williams, welcome along. John Cullerfay is here. Logan tailed us on Feyenoord, double chance. That was a loser. Come on, the boys. Steve Gregory's pointing out that Ange Ball is back. Yeah, we can talk about Forest in a little while because, like I say, I've watched them.
I've sparked a great amount of exercise chat. FF likes swimming and football, the only enjoyable exercises for him. Bob DeVita likes running, said 35 minutes where no one can bother him. And Steve Gregory said he played tennis yesterday, but now feels like his arse cheeks have been headbutted by a bull. So that's an interesting picture for you.
I don't like tennis, Barry. I find it childish. I'm not going to explain. Listen, it's up to me. My opinions, isn't it? So I just about, Barry, cleansed the Twitter timeline of Liverpool. Like, fucking the algorithm. We haven't had algorithm chat for a while. You click on one thing, and that's what Twitter decides all you want to look at, innit? You click on one thing, and that's it. So obviously, it was very Liverpool heavy over the summer. So I just about cleansed. I don't know if you. This is our show timeline, so you might have noticed. It's all Liverpool. I've cleansed it. Not very imaginatively, Barry. Mainly with tits and arse, right? So you had to cleanse it with something. So the timeline, Liverpool had gone, and I'd got mainly tits and arse on there, which is fine. And then this morning, I replied to Fabrizio Romano. I think I just called him a cunt or something. And now it's all Liverpool again. They're just back. 100% of the timeline is Liverpool. So having spent like several weeks getting rid of it, we're now back. We're now back on the Liverpool thing. So that's my fault. Tennis is a Tory sport. Steve Gregory is absolutely right. So the timeline's completely buggered. Can we put, Barry, Hugo Ekitike on the tit list?
I mean, why not? We haven't had anyone on yet.
Well, I've dug it out. It's ages old. So I'll tell you who's on.
Of course, he is Liverpool, so why not?
What makes me laugh about this is I can't remember why a lot of these people are on now. So as it stands, it's Mark Goldbridge, Michael Owen, Rio Ferdinand, Mikel Arteta, Anthony Gordon, and Kai Havertz. So I think Kai Havertz can probably go because
Kai Havertz can go.
He's injured, isn't he?
He's irrelevant.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Anthony Gordon actually would possibly have got himself back on there.
Yeah. So he
Liverpool,
can stay on.
Had we have looked at it. So he renewed his membership when he got sent off a few weeks ago.
Obviously, if you remember, Jurgen Klopp is in the Hall of Tits, so that's why he's gone now. He's a lifelong member of the Hall of Tits. So are we happy for Kai Havertz to come off and Hugo Ekitike to go on? By virtue of being thick as fuck, that is why Ekitike got himself on there. So there you go. Picks-wise, Baz, I blanked tonight. I've faded Forest. The Forest were very good. We'll get to them, like I say. Newcastle unders. Just on that, I didn't expect Newcastle to go absolutely full tilt. I didn't expect Eddie Howe to leave everyone out against Bournemouth to put them all in against Bradford. Well, my head was... Go on.
I did think, when you said the other day, because he's pretty much brought... He just brought in the players who he didn't play at the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I expected Kraft would start, for example, but I expect Gordon would start because he's only played one game in the last 3 weeks. Elanga hasn't played a huge amount, so I was about the team I thought we'd get, to be honest. But still for a large part of the game, I thought you were going to get there because we were missing chance after chance at 2-0, and then it all unravelled a bit later on. But I absolutely laughed my head off when they scored, just because at that point we were 3-0 up, and that lad comes on. He's a lifelong Newcastle fan. And what a moment, what a strike for him. And at 3-0 up, you can enjoy that for him, can't you? And just say, fair play, take your hat off. Whereas if it was 1-1, I'd have been furious, obviously. But fair play to him.
In a way, Newcastle did what we've for years asked managers to do, which was to put your full-strength team out, go and win it, and then bring them off, rather than having to do what Liverpool did last night, which was scratch around and then try and win it later on. All the seeds won, Barry, like you pointed out, easy.
You could have took them all in handicaps pretty much as well, I think.
I mean, Liverpool only won by 1, and did Chelsea win by 1 last night?
Yeah, I was thinking of
tonight.
Tonight was all handicaps, wasn't it?
Handicap 3 or 4 times. Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Newcastle would have paid a pretty penny on the handicap. Your picks-wise, you got Wrexham last night, didn't you?
I took the Wrexham handicap, so that come in okay. And there was parts of the night where I thought I was going okay. Started with the better pick. Obviously, they take a 1-0 lead, so you think decent start, but obviously that one unravelled fairly quickly, so they weren't ahead for long. The Roma game was a kick in the bollocks because I took the unders between Roma and Nice, and I took Roma to win to 0. It's 0-0 at half time. They go 1-0 up, they go 2-0 up, and then a late one from Nice makes it 2-1. But the 2-0 would have been the perfect outcome for me. So for a large part of that, I was looking okay. And Celtic game was overs against Red Star, and it was 0-0 early on, but then it gets to 1-1 with 20 minutes to go. So I thought I was in with a chance of nicking a third goal, but that didn't come off. So 3 losers for me. Terrible in the Europa League, but 100% in the EFL Cup.
Yeah, well done. Steve had a nice pick. Both teams to score double in the Forest and Zagreb game.
Both teams to score first half, that is.
First half.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was, Zagreb was Fenerbahce, wasn't it? So, yeah, 16-1 double. Tidy, well played. I'm playing out to the weekend, Barry. I'm going to Harrogate to visit Chinny. There's a few coming up. Jim, Merce, Johnny Big Shades, people you know. So we're going to go and play out in Harrogate on Friday night, and then we're going to football on Saturday. We are going to watch, Barry, Harrogate Railway against South Leeds in the Northern Counties East Division 1. So I will report back from there. Chinny's 2 lads, Alfie Lee and Harry Lee, both play for Harrogate Railway. So I haven't been to normally go and watch Harrogate Town, or I've watched Knaresborough Town the last couple of times, but I haven't been to Harrogate Railway, so that's a new club for me. And then I think that's all my crack before we get into
playing out tomorrow night. I'm at another gig tomorrow. I'm back in Hull tomorrow for a gig. And then possibly another gig on Saturday night. Chloe's eyed another one up she wants to go to in Nottingham. Sold out at the moment, but if I can pick up 2 tickets last minute, I'll be going to another gig on Saturday night as well. So start the gigging up again. Good
man, Barry. Reminder to get involved with our fancy new sponsor here, which is Daily Spins. Your destination for crypto sports betting, dailyspins.com/sports. That's dailyspins.com/sports. Right, full slate on the weekend. We go from Saturday lunchtime, like I said, through to Monday night, and we kick off on Saturday. Hope this is a 12:30 kickoff. I get to watch this, Barry, with a couple of the Cornish Man United fans. So I would be, I know, just the people I haven't seen for a few years since they turned completely dog shit. So I'll be hoping they get turned over here and I can have a proper good laugh at them. The Saturday lunchtime kickoff is 12:30, which is 7:30 Eastern, between Brentford and Manchester United. Brentford are 23-10 plus 230, 29-10 plus 290 the draw. Man United are even money. I don't feel like betting Manchester United at even money is a very good idea, Baz, away from home in the Premier League. They won a game, yes, last week, but the early red card kind of negates the entirety of that match. And even then, they still ended up clinging on for a win at the end after Casemiro's silliness, etc. I feel like Brentford themselves and my handicapping of Brentford is at a bit of a crossroads. They got spanked at Fulham last week. Their away form is poor. But we had this last year, remember, Baz? They were a big home road split candidate, weren't they? And at home, they've been competitive. They've beaten Villa. They got a 2-2 draw with Chelsea last time out. They're a proper threat from set pieces, particularly the long throws. We know the 3 centre-backs. It's Pinnock, it's Vandenberg, and it's Collins, maybe? The 3 big guys. And Man U still can't deal with it. I don't know if they're going to play in goal, whether they're going to give the new kid a goal or the flappy-hand Turkish fella. But it's not going to end well. The Brentford team total is far too big. Brentford to score twice, Baz, is 13-8 plus 162. But a safer bet, I think Brentford can avoid a defeat. Brentford at 5-6, minus 120 on the double chance. I just don't know why Man U should be even money to go and win this game. Unless I don't think they've turned a corner. Anything told you they've turned a corner. I don't see it. I think Brentford could score a couple, but the safest bet, Brentford double chance, 5-6, minus 120, Baz.
Yeah, I thought this was an ugly one to start with, really, because, Man U have won 2 of their last 3 league games, but it doesn't make me think they've turned a corner. I think it's all been fairly fortuitous with the early red last week and then the last-minute pen against Burnley. I still couldn't back them with any confidence. Fefwef's in the chat saying he thinks Man U might win heavily this week. He likes the Man U to score over 2.5. But for me, I just think I'm still very cautious about Man United. Brentford haven't won since the opening day, so not much confidence in them either. But I actually got to a pick quite easily in this one. Brentford's last 3 league games, they've had a 3-1 loss, a 2-1 loss, and a 2-2. So plenty of goals there. Over 2.5, both teams to score every week. Man United's last 4 all went over 2.5 goals, and both teams to score, hitting 3 of the last 4. Man United don't have a clean sheet yet this season. See, we don't know who'll be in goal for them. But either way, I'd fancy Brentford to get on the score sheet. So for me, I've ended up going for both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. I'm getting that at 10 to 11. I just found it safe to go for goals because I don't trust either of these sides at this point. So yeah, pick for me, over 2.5 and both teams to score at 10 to 11.
Okay, thank you very much, Barry. We move on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs, of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4 on Saturday. The first one being Chelsea taking on Brighton and Hove Albion. Chelsea 5 to 6, minus 120. 3 to 1 the draw. Brighton 29 to 10, plus 290, Baz.
Yeah, so not the most convincing run for Chelsea lately. Scraped past Lincoln City last night. Lost to Man United and Bayern Munich. And a draw against Brentford as well. So no interest, like Man United, no interest in Chelsea here at this price. Now, Brighton aren't setting the world alight either, other than their back-to-back 6-0 wins in the EFL Cup. That seems to be their go-to at the moment. 6-0 again this week. But in the league, it's inconsistent for Brighton. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss in the last 3. Both teams to score, and the overs is hitting all 3 of those. So goals featuring again in Brighton games. Palmer looks like he's going to miss out for Chelsea, possibly for a few weeks with injury. He would be a miss for them. As I say, it's inconsistent for Brighton, so nothing would surprise me. I think all outcomes are on the table. There were plenty of positives for Brighton against Spurs and Man City. They were both at home, though, and they've yet to pick up a point away from home where they lost to Everton and Bournemouth. But that wasn't enough to put me off Brighton. Brighton beat Chelsea twice last season. Again, they were both at home, so they've got to, up their away form a little bit. But they did beat them in the league, and they knocked them out of the FA Cup last year. And it was enough for me to just give Brighton a shout here. I think Brighton are big enough a price to take on against Chelsea on the double chance market. I'll take Brighton double chance at evens.
Fefwef is into a little bit of Brighton as well, Baz. Chelsea are just too inconsistent at the minute for me. Silliness at Manchester United last week. Then the performance of some of the young players at Lincoln this week baffled me a little bit. We were in the van coming back from football, actually, from training. And you forget how many players they've got. So it was Garnacho, the first thing we were laughing at, who did fuck all, by the way. Just kept diving about. And then it was Gittins, and you think, oh, shit, yeah, he plays for them as well. There's just still thousands of them, but those youngins, and we've said before, it's a very young squad. And if a game follows a certain script or a certain protocol, Chelsea are all right. But if it doesn't, they can struggle. And at the minute, they seem to be coming off that Club World Cup as well. It's maybe getting them a little bit earlier than we thought. So I just can't trust them at this price. I'm going to say the same thing about Brighton that I say every week, because they did what they do last week. They just played football against Tottenham, and at the end, they counted up all the goals, and they had scored 2, and Tottenham had scored 2, and it's a load of absolute bollocks. And it'll be the same this week. That's what Brighton will do this week. And they might score more, they might concede more, they don't care. They'll just crack on. At that point, the safest bet by a mile, Joe Dollar is right, both teams to score in over 2.5 goals. It just could be anything, but Brighton don't care. 5 to 6, minus 120 for the BTTS and over 2.5. Smudger is giving us both teams to score in both halves at 10 to 1, which is good. This could be, this is like a bet builder game. Like, there's all sorts of shit going on in here. Shots on target, corners, goals, cards. Because Chelsea like a red. Brighton aren't averse to a red as well. They've got a couple of shit houses. That Van Hecker at the back's a bit of a shit house. So yeah, this is definitely a bet builder game. It finishes 3-2, and you can all be cashing like 33-1 bet builders. We'll move on. I'm going to read out some of this advertising. Barry, listen to this. We are brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet on football and everything else. The prop builder is second to none. The motto is bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts. Head to mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. And we're brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in over 35 states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 using our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Second 3 o'clock kickoff is Crystal Palace taking on Liverpool. Crystal Palace have drifted a little bit since this morning. They were 11-4. They're now out to 3-1. The draw is 29-10 plus 290. And Liverpool have shortened up. They were 9-10 minus 111. They are now 5-6 minus 120. So a little bit of money for Liverpool this afternoon. These two did just draw each other in the League Cup. Actually, next round. Did you see the League Cup draw, Baz?
I did, yeah.
Yes, Tottenham Hotspur for Newcastle. John loves the ad reads. Cheers, John. I love it. So this will be a proper test for Liverpool. I don't know why they would have drifted a little bit. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any news or what have you. They're unbeaten in forever, going back to last season. They're good at home. They can win games in different ways. They're solid at the back. They can score goals. They beat Liverpool in the Community Shield at the start of the season. Always competitive. Liverpool are still just doing enough. They squeezed past Everton last weekend. They squeezed past Southampton, if you want to count that. Ekitike is suspended because he's thick. So the other lad will get 60 minutes or so up top. I was just wanting to factor Palace in, but I think they're live dogs very much at 3-1, but they're very capable of avoiding a defeat here. Palace double chance, 9-10, minus 111.
Yeah, I think, well, I've ended up on the same pick, but I thought the same thing. It looks to be a testing one. A testing one for both teams, really. Both teams carrying big unbeaten streaks into this one. Liverpool, no defeat in 90 minutes in the last 10 games, though they did lose to Palace in the Community Shield, as you mentioned. And Palace now 17 unbeaten in all competitions. And within that 17, there's 2 draws there against Liverpool in 90 minutes at Wembley and Liverpool at Anfield last year. Liverpool won 7 in a row, but the last 6 all come by just a single goal. I mean, you can't overlook the results for Liverpool, 7 wins in a row, but you have to also look at the manner of the wins, because they haven't looked like brushing anyone aside. And given Palace's recent form against Liverpool and the fact that they're going well themselves, I think you've got to factor them in here. There's no reason to suggest it won't be a close game. And like you, I think it's worth taking Palace on a double chance. So yeah, another double chance pick for me. I think if I was going to go one way or the other, I would take the draw, but I'd much rather have the 2 options on my side. Palace are live here. Palace double chance. I've got them at 10-11.
A couple of these picks are right off the ladies' menu, Baz. Is one of us going to take the plunge and pick a fucking winner here? We're as soft as each other. No one wants to blink. I've got an outright winner in this one, though, Baz. 3 o'clock kickoff. Leeds United taking on Bournemouth. Leeds are 2-1. The draw 9-4 plus 225. Bournemouth are plus 135, and I forgot to write down what that is. 27-20. I've just worked that out in my mind, Barry. 27-20 plus 135, Bournemouth.
Yeah, we've probably got the same outright winner here. Bournemouth unbeaten in 4 league games since losing late on to Liverpool on day 1. And they've only conceded 1 goal in those 4 games as well. At the start of the season, I was talking up Bournemouth's attacking prospects. and talking down the defensive prospects after all the changes they had in the summer. But that's not how it's all worked out. They've been strong at the back, not necessarily firing on all cylinders, but doing enough. Good start of the season for them. Leeds started with a good win against Everton. Good win again last week against Wolves. But I think you've got to put that into the context of who they were playing, because Wolves are in big trouble. And the win over Wolves doesn't make me think that they're necessarily going to come flying into this one. Leeds had just one goal to their name prior to that one. And so I think Bournemouth can deal with Leeds defensively, given how well Bournemouth have been at the back this season. And I think Bournemouth are a great price here to win. Leeds are unbeaten at home, but they've only played 2 games there. And they did face Newcastle without a striker as well. This was one of the easier picks for me. I like Bournemouth to beat Leeds, 11-8, Bournemouth to win.
Lee is into the props market. He's developed, Barry, as a gambler over the few years. Feel like we can. He's a real boy now. Bournemouth corners, over 7 corners. It's 7-2. Is it 2 of the 4 games so far, and had the 3rd most corners so far this season. So Smudges on the corner. He says he's got nothing else to do at work, which he's going to run someone over in his forklift truck, working out Bournemouth corners. I like that. I made the same pick, Baz. Leeds did surprise me last week with the 3-1 win at Wolves. The goals came out of nowhere, really. I still don't want to bet them. I don't think it's a strong form line, as you pointed out. Bournemouth were a little bit toothless against Newcastle. Newcastle have negated most teams this season. I think in simple terms, Bournemouth are the much better team, and I pretty much stopped handicapping it there. The Bournemouth team total over 1.5 is 6-5 plus 120, which I like, but I think if they score twice, they win. So I'll take the extra little bit of value there. We'll push it up from plus 120 to plus 135 by taking Bournemouth to win this game outright. Cormac Gillespie has joined us. Welcome. Let's have you.
Is Cormac Gillespie Conor Mack?
Is it?
The same person? I think it is.
I was going to say it was, but then there was a hesitation in my voice there because I didn't want to. I didn't want to misname him, Baz, or you get in trouble for that.
I was about to say how his team had let us down last night, because if it is Conor Mack, Southampton fan, isn't he? But he'll confirm in the chat, I'm sure.
Conor Mack, will you out yourself in the chat, please, so we know whether or not it is you? Manchester City take on Burnley at 3:00 on Saturday. Man City 1-5, minus 500. The draw is 6-1, and Burnley are all the way out at 12-1. I think you have to fear a little bit for Burnley. Hard to make any kind of case for an upset. Even on the handicap, Burnley conceded 3 against Tottenham and Manchester United. They've been competitive at home, but Man City looking decent form at the minute. They're solid at the back. Foden, Doku, Haaland, all looking especially dangerous. The skill here is finding the right bet, because obviously you've got a minus 500 favourite. The handicap's too short, the minus 1.5. Man City team total over 2.5 is 5-6. That's a little bit skinny. I'm going to take, Baz, Manchester City to win both halves. It's 6-5 plus 120. 1-0 at half time, finished 3-0. Man City to score twice in each half was a play I looked at. It's 4-1. What a shit price. I like the bet, hated the price. Man City to win both halves, 6-5 plus 120.
Yeah, Cormac Gillespie is his own man. He's got nothing to do with Conor Mack.
Got nothing to do with. You see, I told you. Well, I didn't tell you.
You were best off. You've done the right thing by saying nothing.
Yeah.
Mistaken identity. I've thought that for a few weeks. The names just seemed similar. I wondered whether it was just a new username, but there we go. Anyway, moving on. Man City v Burnley. Christ, we're in sync here, Malcolm. Difficult one to start with when you've got Man City at such a short price in a game where you'd expect them to win, but it's how you sort of land on a bet when you're starting at 1-7. City do have just one win in the last 4 league games now, having lost to Spurs and Brighton and drew with Arsenal. But against lesser opposition, it's been more straightforward. They beat Man United 3-0 at home. They beat Wolves 4-0 at Wolves. And I'm looking at similar games for Burnley so far this season. They've lost 1-0 to Liverpool. They lost 3-0 to Spurs. So win to nil was something I considered straight away because of the 3-0 and the 4-0 Man City have had when they've been winning games. And as I say, Burnley losing to nil in against a couple of bigger teams. So win to nil was at 4-5, but I've ended up going exactly the same way as you because it's a better price, and it's along similar lines. If Man City are going to win to nil, then there's a good chance they're going to win both halves, and again at a bit better price. I've got it 11-10, so I've got exactly the same pick. City to win both halves, 11-10.
Fair enough. Vengeance 09 is trying to get us with some sort of Bart Simpson style prank call to Moore's Tavern. Well, Vengeance, I'm not buying it, and you shouldn't be selling it. So try again next week, but I'm not reading that out. I will read out, Barry, though, this beautiful advertising. You ready, John? Underdog is a great place to play fantasy pick'em. You can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favourite player stats. Available for a ton of sports. Underdog has a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code PLGP. And Rhythm, off to a great start in college football and the NFL. They've introduced a weekly leaderboard with cash prizes for tracking your bets. In the app, you can win $1,000 on that. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use the promo code SGPN25. Next is tea time on Saturday, 5:30 kickoff, 12:30 Eastern time. Nottingham Forest taking on Sunderland. Forest 5-6, -120. 13-5 the draw, plus 260. Sunderland are Burlington Bertie 130 plus 333. I changed my pick entirely, Barry, tonight after sitting watching Forest. So I've got no handicap. I had one pick. I've completely flipped it around and taken the other side of it. You give us your handicap and I'll tell you what I saw and why.
Well, I didn't watch the game tonight because I was watching Newcastle, but it was another one where if I'd seen these prices at the start of the season, I'd have snapped your hand off to get Forest at home 4-5 against a promoted side. However, Sunderland have given a good account of themselves so far. They've lost only once, unbeaten in their last three, including Villa, Spurs and Palace, which are reasonable comparisons for this one. And then you've got Forest, no win in 5 before tonight, so no win in 6 now. Shipping loads of goals would be the concern for me. No clean sheets from them so far. And you said they've played well tonight, but they've still conceded another couple of goals to add to the dozens they've conceded already this season. And I think, obviously, there's still lots of uncertainty. We're not sure how they're going to... Well, I suppose we should know how they're going to play at Ange Postecoglou. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Forest go and win it. But I just think because of the defensive record so far this season, I want to factor Sunderland in here. Forest might get back to winning ways. As I say, they've went okay tonight. But I want a piece of Sunderland. So both teams to score is the pick I've went for. As I say, no clean sheet for Forest yet. Maybe they'll win it 2-1, something like that, hopefully. But both teams to score 4-5 will be my pick here.
So I was immediately drawn to the under, Baz, but kind of a little bit was because I picked Forest under last week at Burnley and it hit. And then I watched the highlights and I did mention that both keepers were very, very busy in that game. And then I've watched Forest tonight go 1-0 down early on. And then they played like Brazil for half an hour. They scored 2 goals. Your man, Igor Jesus, who's in the chat point now, you picked him to be Forest top scorer. Do you know what? That's a live bet because his ceiling is much, much higher than Chris Wood. By the way. So he has scored 4 goals in 2 games in the Cup, but he will get these league goals, Baz. You're going to win that bet. Forrest scored twice through him. Should have scored 3 or 4 more. Jesus had a couple of chances. Callum Hudson-Odoi hit the post. And then Ange Postecoglou doing his usual thing. Anthony scored late door. So it finished 2-2. There was goals galore in it. And it looks like he's had an effect pretty quickly, because Forest were really good going forward. They're a different team. Much, much better watch than they have been. Milenkovic went off late on. Did just look like cramp. Murillo missed out tonight through injury, although Morata did well. And I think the big a little bit of tiredness maybe creeping in as well. So I've completely switched. I initially had it under 2.5, and I'm just going to switch it around to the over 2.5. I think Forest can score a couple. Sunderland might get one back late on. Forest are tempting, but they haven't yet convinced me. But even money over 2.5 goals in this And Sunderland have been all right, as much as it's horrible to say. They've been absolutely fine. So over 2.5 goals is at even money. I will remind you to get your picks in for Predict Addict, because people keep forgetting. Andy Williams was complaining last week that he forgot. And it's still not too late to enter, by the way. Predictaddict.co.uk. And the code is 43455. Monthly prizes, etc. up for grabs. Next up is Sunday. Is it Sunday? We've got Saturday night as well. Ooh, Saturday night, 8 o'clock. This is a regular thing now, isn't it? Tottenham Hotspur take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Tottenham 1-2, -200. The draw is 13-5, +260. Wolves 21-4, +525. Now, I know where you've gone here, Barry, because you asked me to fetch you the odds just before we started. And oddly enough, I've ended up in the props market too, because I couldn't land on a pick. So it's a little hint. We've both ended up in the props market completely coincidentally here. I'm unsure on Tottenham's form. 3 wins, 2 of them against Burnley and West Ham. They lost v Bournemouth. Last week against Brighton, kind of, they played badly, went 2-0 down. They played well, got it back to 2-2. So I don't really know what to do with that. Wolves, 0 points from 5. Did beat Everton in the Cup midweek. I did say last week I would have to reassess Wolves after being very wrong on them in that game against Leeds. The 2 away games have both lost 1-0. I just couldn't find a pick, so I went into the numbers, Baz. And it's the first time this season, actually, I've found myself in there. And I've ended up with shots. So, Tottenham have had 58 shots in their 5 games. So, just over 11 per game. Wolves have had 51 in 5. So, 10 per game. But only 14 in the 2 away games. So, they're averaging 7 per game away from home. So, the total there, I'll do the maths, Barry, is between it's in the 18 to 21 range for the amount of shots in the game. The line is 24.5, which I think is too big as a result. So the pick is under 24.5 shots at 9-10, -111.
Yeah, so you've let out a bit of a spoiler there, because you've talked about me being in the props market. And I'm not in the props market at all. That's for later in the show, Mark.
Yeah.
But, never mind. You spoil things. That's fine.
Edit that out, Baz. I fucked it up.
I mean, given what we've seen so far from Wolves, I was surprised that Spurs aren't much shorter here. We've got Man City at like 1-6 against Burnley. And Wolves coming in here like 4-9 or something. I expected it to be shorter. Spurs coming in around 4-9, I did think would be shorter. Wolves actually have 2 wins over Premier League opposition in the Cup. They seem to be going okay in that. But in the league, it's now 5 defeats from 5. And the manner of the defeat versus Leeds was pretty startling. They managed just 0.4 XG in that game, had only 6 total shots in that game. And so Spurs at 4-9 here made it easy for me to find a bet. They've won 4 of their 6 games so far. All of the 4 that they won 1-0. And in the league, their 3 wins in the league all came to 0, and all by 2 or more goals. They've beaten Burnley 3-0. They've beaten West Ham 3-0, which are perfect comparisons for this one for me. I'll take Spurs on the handicap. Spurs -1.5 at 5-4.
Okay, brave Barry out on a limb, taking Tottenham. Cormac's just harked back to the Man City game with a bit of an arse sniffer, which is Erling Haaland to score twice, which I don't mind that at all. 13-8. I've just had a little look at that because I was interested. 13-8 plus 167 for Erling Haaland to score.
Haaland twice. Looks like he means business this season, doesn't he? Looks absolutely dangerous all the time.
Next up is, and now it's definitely Sunday, isn't it? I'm on the wrong page now because I've just put Man City prices up. Lunchtime on Sunday. Aston Villa take on Fulham. This is the 2 o'clock kickoff. It's my dad's 80th birthday tomorrow, Barry. We're going out for lunch on Sunday. We're going, I can't remember where. Big fancy Sunday lunch anyway. And then I've got to chip off to get to the Arsenal match, me and Bob. So we get to avoid all the family shit. So I'll get my dinner paid for. and then nick off to the match. So happy birthday, Big Al. 80 tomorrow. Aston Villa, Fulham. Aston Villa 5-4 plus 125. 21-10 plus 210. Fulham 23-10 plus 230. Barry, this is you.
Yeah, so this one, I mean, the pick will probably be quite predictable, I expect, as I'm probably repeating myself a little bit from previous weeks, particularly on teams, though, where there's no evidence that anything has changed. And that applies to Villa here. If I can't back Villa last week against Sunderland, then I'm certainly not going to want to take them over Fulham. They're still winless in 6 games. They've only scored 2 goals in those 6 games. They've also got a tough Thursday night still to come. They've got Bologna tomorrow, so that's still not been seen yet. I think Bologna have got a good chance there as well. They didn't do very well after European games last season either. They weren't winning many after coming back from European games, and that was playing on the Tuesday or Wednesday in the Champions League. I think there's a lot of reasons still to continue to fade Villa, and that's before you even look at Fulham, who have lost only once so far this season. They lost to Chelsea in a game where they should have been 1-0 up and possibly could have changed things. They haven't really been tested other than that Chelsea game, but Villa aren't testing anyone anyway. Fulham are just a touch too short on the double chance market, otherwise I'd have gone there. But more than backable on the draw no bet market. So again, hedging it a little bit rather than taking Fulham as an underdog. I wouldn't discourage anyone from taking Fulham outright. But Fulham draw no bet, 5-4. It's going to be where I've gone.
Yeah, it was the Fulham angle that I was looking at, Baz. Nobody's betting Villa here. 1 goal, 3 points. But for me, it's the manner of the performances, because I watched them against Sunderland last week and they were shite. They played an hour with 10 men, and you would not have known that they had a numerical advantage. 2 shots on target, one of which was that 35-yard thunder bastard from Cash, and the other one was in the first half. So they never looked like scoring. And I watched them against Everton the week before, and they were poor, 0-0. They were the second best team on the field against Everton. So you don't get the feeling a win's just around the corner. I think as a comparison with Newcastle, some of our results haven't been great, but I think we've done all right. Like, we played well against Liverpool. We've done okay against Barcelona. You don't get that feeling with Villa that there's not a win coming. Back-to-back home wins for Fulham, and suddenly they look a little bit healthier. They got a draw at Bournemouth, and they were chinned by VAR Chelsea. So the last 2 away performances have been all right. I tried loads of markets here to find a clever angle, and then I couldn't. So I'm just going to pick Fulham. Fulham 23-10 plus 230. Steve's asking, what's with all these Derby and Joan club picks? What does that mean? Any idea?
Not sure. He's probably picking on me for taking a draw no bet.
Derby, you're going to have to explain yourself there, Joe. You've absolutely done
the Derby and Joan reference.
Right, okay. Tell you what it's time for, though, Baz. It's the game that's got the Western Hemisphere talking, Barry. It is kick-off. Barry leads 1-0. We are round about, I'm going to say, in the 38th minute, Barry. There's 10 cards left in the discard pile, which means we've got 7 more turns before half-time. So bear that in mind. I did tell you. Now, if you remember from last week, I'm sure most of you now are unfolding your reckoners and getting them out in front of you as you're keeping track. Barry had a shot from the edge of the box from the Brazilian Tanat. Shot on target. Barry, where are these my cards or are they your cards? These are my cards. I'm going to play Barry. It's been a while since Robin Bravo has been called into action. And I'm playing that. Robin Bravo is back with a 9 straight back up the pitch. So repelled, Barry, your shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right up into the centre circle. Square A7, Barry. That's A7 with Untumbe Smith, my Nigerian CDM. There you go. I'll pick up my spare card as well. Barry, what you got?
So I'm looking at where square A7 is on the board.
It's right next to the centre spot.
Right bang in the middle. And I'm in your half or my own half?
It's just in my half.
Just in your half, right.
Joe Thompson's joined just in time. In fact, he's joined specifically for this part, actually, although he doesn't want to see it. But welcome, Joe. Few minutes, we'll be back with you making picks anyway.
Oh, it's a tricky one.
Have you got one eye on half time, Baz?
No, not well, possibly. Yeah, I'm gonna lump it back up. I'm gonna knock it forward 8.
Hell. 8.
8.
So that's in my 6-yard box.
And then can I throw a penalty down at this point?
Oh, fuck yeah. If you've got the penalty card.
I will do that, yeah. I'll play
Oh, my God. Everyone, this is one of the most exciting things that can happen. Yeah, it's a penalty, Barry. Yeah, you have the ball in my penalty area, and you do have a penalty. Shit. Show me what the 2 cards. You bastard.
You've got the 8 forward.
Yeah, okay. Looks like Terry Hibbert, that fella. Oh, that's definitely a penalty.
That's a penalty.
How Betty sends you those cards. Taken on my on the carpet. Right, okay. Very good. Right, okay. That is a penalty to you then, Barry, which we will deal with next episode. It's very exciting time. So, Barry, 1-0 up, ball on the penalty spot. So you'll have to join us now on Sunday or Monday to see how that pans out. How very exciting. Next game. Right, sorry, Joe. Here we go. You joined us you've got 2 more matches, Joe. 4:30 on Saturday is a game I will be at once I've ditched my dad's 80th birthday celebrations. Newcastle taking on Arsenal, which is a 4:30 kickoff, 11:30 Eastern time. Newcastle are 12-5 plus 240. The draw 13-5 plus 260, and Arsenal 21-20 plus 105. I can't take Arsenal at this short price against a good team. We keep saying that they don't do enough to beat them regularly enough, and I think that's holds true. I mean, we beat them repeatedly last year. We spanked them every fucking 6 weeks all season, didn't we? They couldn't get near us. Newcastle been all right. Missing Wissa, I think. Counterintuitive because Newcastle have been playing not how you expect them normally. 4 out of 5 unders. All of them under 1.5, and 3 of them under half because we've had 3 0-0 draws in there. We played well in spots. We played well at home to Liverpool. We played well at home to Barcelona. We still don't look like scoring loads of goals. And Arsenal are very good defensively. They held Manchester City, for example, last weekend. They held Liverpool for 80 whatever minutes. But we always beat them. I'm not going to mush it, though, by taking us. This is a really boring pick, but I don't know if this isn't under 2.5 goals, Baz. 4-5, minus 125. Both teams, that's just what they're doing at the moment. So as much as I'd like, if you give us £1, I would put it on Newcastle because we know we're good in these home spots. We have been for years. Like, we get up for these games, but under 2.5 goals just looks easy, Baz. 4-5, minus 125.
Yeah, so I mean, you've looked at the same 2 things as me. I thought I'd keep this one quite short because there were 2 obvious things to look at for me. I mean, Newcastle beat Arsenal 3 times last season, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0. And the other game was a win for Arsenal, 1-0. So all 4 games 1-0, all 4 of them under 2.5. Both teams have got 4 clean sheets already this season. 4 of Newcastle's 5 in the league have gone under 2.5 goals. So I just thought unders was the obvious choice. 4-5 as well was the pick. The other thing I thought you had to consider was Newcastle. Sorry, you're getting around 5-2 for Newcastle, having beat Arsenal 3 times last season, and generally having a good record at home in these sort of games. I thought Newcastle at around 5-2 looks value, but I'm definitely taking the unders as my pick here. I think given the recent form between the 2 sides and how they've started this season, I think it'll be a low scoring one as well. So under 2.5 at 4-5.
Nearly everybody in the chat agrees. 1-1 draw of the week, says Cormac. Under half a first half goal from Lee is a different angle, and it's 7-4. Beats ETS for Joe Dollar, so he wants the 1-1 draw as well. Joe, being an Arsenal fan. Final game here, we've got some Monday night football between Everton and West Ham United. Everton 4-5, minus 125. 5-2 the draw, plus 250. And West Ham are 7-2, plus 350. Baz, finish us off with a winner.
Yeah, Everton have had a little turnaround in form in terms of going downhill a little bit, as they've had no win in the last 3, having won 3 in a row before that. The new ground has been kind to them. They've only played twice, but 2 wins. Played 3 times, 2 wins and a draw. Albeit one of them was against Mansfield, so played twice in the league. But they've yet to concede a goal at the new stadium, having shut down Villa and Brighton. So West Ham coming here are going to be up against it. West Ham have got a solitary positive, which was that bizarre 3-0 win against Forest. But that's it. They've lost the other 5 games. They've played those 5. They've conceded 16 goals. And that's the biggest worry for them here. Even Everton are going to be capable of putting up goals against this West Ham team. I mean, West Ham went away to Sunderland and conceded 3. They went to Wolves and conceded 3. Again, good comparisons here. Hard to find a positive for West Ham. Potter appears to be on borrowed time. I think you've got to find a way to oppose them. Now, Everton 3 to 4 are fine as a pick for your racker, but I'm going to take Everton to score 2 or more because everyone's putting 2 or more past West Ham, and we're getting it at a better price than Everton to win. So I'll take the Everton team total here over 1.5 at 10 to 11.
One thing about Everton before I get into this game, why the fuck would they not put a proper team out in the cup last night? Just go win last night, get a home draw against Wycombe Wanderers, and you're in the quarter-final. Like, it's preposterous. What? So they can finish 14th instead of 13th, 15th. I don't fucking ridiculous idiots. Everton been very competitive, Barry. 7 points. They were the better team against Villa last week. They ran Liverpool close. West Ham are entirely unbackable. One peculiar win against Forest, but they're just totally dysfunctional. They can't defend set pieces as well. I've made a point of that. I'm going to come back to that later on. And Everton are going to give him hell from that point of view. It's going to be an absolute adventure every time the ball goes into touch in their half of the pitch. Like, I'm just taking Everton at 4 to 5, minus 125. And that, Barry, has got us through the 10-game card. And we'd start with the exotic stuff, Baz, with our new feature on the show, Barry. We're going to meet Data Dave. Data Dave is 2-1. He is 1 plus 1.1 unit. He picked both teams to score, and is he 3-1 now? In fact, did I not add that up?
Yeah, he's only missed 1 week.
Yeah, he's only missed 1 week, so this is 5. So yeah, he's now 2.4 units ahead. Data Dave 3-1. So first, I'll tell you what I asked him, because last week he wasn't very committal. Like, he was a bit more chatty today. He was readily available to talk. So we had a little chat, and then I asked him, Baz, just to get to know him, what he would order in an Indian restaurant. So what Data Dave has gone for, Baz, fairly straightforward. There's a little twist at the end, though. Onion bhaji, fair enough. Chicken jalfrezi, sag paneer. You all right with the sag paneer? It's a bit of cheesy spinach. Pilau rice, garlic naan. So nothing flash. However, what interested me here was he's having a dessert. I've never had a dessert in an Indian restaurant, have you?
Has he gone for the gulab jamun?
That's exactly what he's gone for. I've never heard of it.
That's the only thing you can get in an Indian restaurant.
Is it?
Oh, it's a little donut type ball covered in like syrup or something.
Syrup-soaked dough balls is what I've written down.
Yeah.
Well, good knowledge, Baz. I'd never heard of them. Gulab jamun. Bob Marley sing that. So yeah, there you go. He's having a pudding, Data Dave. His pick is fucking skinny. He's gone right off the ladies' menu. Both teams to score. Brentford v Man United. Wasn't that your pick?
Over 2.5 and both to score in that one.
All right, yeah, because his is 7 to 10, minus 142. So it's a bit skinny, but to be fair, he's in front. You know what I mean? He's earned the right. He can do what he wants. So Data Dave, there you go. Thanks, Dave, for that. My luck is the both teams to score in the over 2.5 in Chelsea-Brighton, because Brighton are cheating. Underdog play is Fulham, 23 to 10 at Aston Villa. My corned beef pie accumulator is just a straight-up moneyline parlay on Bournemouth and Everton. Bournemouth can turn over. Who would they play? Leeds. Bournemouth win at Leeds. Everton beat Villa. That pays 3.2 to 1. And for my stake in Stilton, I've gone Brentford to beat Man United Palace to beat Liverpool and Fulham to win at Villa. Treble on the money line pays 40-1. Anytime goal scorer. Now, I was robbed last week, Barry, if you remember. Lacroix and Gahey both hit the crossbar at big prices against West Ham. And I've just said Everton are going to give them absolute hell. Like, if there's Everton are the team, apart from Arsenal, for set pieces and big, ugly defenders coming forward. So the answer, Barry, is Jake O'Brien for Everton. I like him. 25-1 first and last, 10-1 anytime goal scorer. So we'll leave it late. We're going to get the Monday night winner, Jake O'Brien, at 25, Spaz.
Big bold goal scorer to finish off with. I like it. My lock is going to be the Spurs handicap. I'd really like Spurs to get a few against Wolves. So I'll take Spurs handicap as my lock. My underdog, I'm going to take Newcastle. I think they're a good enough price. Scorer, I'm going back to the Spurs game. It's Richarlison, 6-5 anytime and 4-1 first or last. Remind me about the Indian desserts. I think I told you the other day. That's why Andy said it in the chat. Anyway, back to the Ackers.
It's all coming together, Baz.
Yeah. Call me Pie Acker. Both teams to score. Man United v Brentford, Chelsea v Brighton, and Forest v Sunderland. Both teams to score in all three of those games at 7-2. My long shot Ackers, similar sort of one to yours, similar sort of price. I've gone for Fulham to beat Villa as well, but I've gone Brighton to beat Chelsea and Newcastle to beat Arsenal. That treble comes in at 33-1. And to finish off, I've abandoned the cards for this week. After a blank last week, we're bringing back Bazza's Ladders. Might be for 1 week only, but Bazza's Ladders is back. We're going into the Spurs game for corners. I know Smudger was putting out the Bournemouth game for corners, but Spurs I like as well. They've hit double figures in their last 2 league games. They hit 10 against Brighton. They hit 13 corners against West Ham. So in a game where I think Spurs will be live. Over 6.5 Spurs corners, 4-5. Over 7.5, 13-10. Over 8.5 is 21-10. Over 9.5, 7-2. We'll get the next two in as well. Over 10.5 is 11-2, and over 11.5, 9-1. So yeah, Spurs corners. Let's start at 6.5, and we'll go up to over 11.5. So let's try and get Bazza's Ladders back on track.
Yes, that's where I made that Fox pass earlier on when I said you were in the props market for the Tottenham game, because I was on the shots and I knew you had some corners lined up somewhere. So that's where it was. I think that's it, Baz. We've 1 minute short of an hour. Have you any more lifestyle, or did we cover it all at the start?
I think we covered it all at the start. Yeah, nothing else going on.
Well, fair enough. I've got a game tomorrow night, Barry. 11 o'clock kickoff in the Copa Libertadores, Sao Paulo against LDU Quito. So if you want a little bit of that from, well, I don't know where Sao Paulo is. Sao Paulo is just a place, isn't it? It's not in Rio. I shall do my homework anyway. So yeah, I'm covering that tomorrow night. So that's fun. And then off to Harrogate, say, full of beer at the weekend. And then Dad's birthday on Sunday, followed by Newcastle, Tonkin, Arsenal, 1-0. So yeah, loads of fun. We'll probably do the show maybe Monday. The baseball chills out now, Baz. It's the end of the regular season on Sunday, which is a fucking huge relief because it is absolutely interminably long. So I've got a little bit more.
Are we back to European fixtures next week?
Yeah. So you think we might have to do them a little bit sooner?
We're doing it a bit earlier than Monday, couldn't we? If we've got lots of Tuesday night action going on, but again, we can talk about this offline.
We could do. I've just put Tally Site up where we put all our picks in. My baseball picks for the season, Baz. This is how much work we've done. I am 1,143 winners, 1,123 losers, 20 pushes for an exact record of 50%. So what a waste of everyone's fucking time that is. How many games is that? 2,286 games handicapped on the baseball this year. 50%. Brilliant. Live to fight.
How are you doing in the NFL?
I think I'm 50% in that. In fact, I could probably get it right up now. Well, that sounded a bit misses. I am on the NFL, Barry. No one cares about this. What are we doing? 24, 22 and 1. So I am 52% in the NFL, Barry. Hey?
Can you compare that to mine?
Not on this screen. Can you?
I'll tell you what mine is in a second. I'm trying to.
Ryder Cup this weekend as well. John's pointing out that's fun. All the Americans making tits of themselves in the crowd, as per usual.
I'm significantly better than you. I can't find it at the moment, so we'll take that off there as well.
But he hasn't got the exact numbers in front of him, people. But he is significantly better than me, is what he said. Right, okay, shut up. Let's go away. Let these people go to bed. Thanks everyone. Enjoy your weekends. Let's have some winners, and we'll come back and do this again in a few days' time. We'll see you all down the road. Cheers.